Here's a fun fact that you already know. Making movies is hard. Like, really hard. Hollywood throws hundreds of millions of money, just at the chance of making a good movie. And a lot of the time, things just don't work out. And that is an insane business model. But you know who's objectively mostly sometimes really good at it? The Russo brothers and the writing duo of Marcus and McFeely. And that's exactly what these guys did with Civil War. Also keep in mind that everything is subjective, this is just a movie, and nothing matters. Okay, thanks, bye. Of course, they had some insane advantages that guaranteed the movie would make a fuck ton of money. A star-studded nuclear typhoon of a cast, omnipotent culture-consuming franchise power, and infinite money as provided by the mouse. And although at this point in the superhero zeitgeist, charismatic actors doing cool comic book stuff for 2 hours was a guarantee that it would make money, it didn't guarantee that it would actually be a good movie.
Why did you say that name?
In fact, Civil War had a lot going against it in that department, just because of the insane expectations that come with a franchise tentpole title like Captain America Civil War. It needed to be a sequel to The Winter Soldier that continues that storyline, be a mini Avengers movie that balances a bunch of characters while also still definitely being a Captain America movie, introduce two of the most popular characters of all time, and sell the idea that the Avengers have actually broken up.
Congratulations, Cap. You're a criminal.
It needs to do all that, but also be its own new and different thing. Not just Winter Soldier but with more Avengers, or Age of Ultron but now with Bucky. And despite all of those requirements, they fucking went above and beyond to make a fantastic movie that takes the franchise in new directions while also living up to the hype. Which is practically a miracle. I'm convinced that these four are just time-traveling movie gods that go back in time to remake the same movies over and over again, and they finally got this one right on their 27th attempt. Cause that's the only way this movie is this good, right? There are a lot of things it did great.
I'm Peter.
Tony.
But to me, by far the best thing this movie does is its mind-bending third act. And just, okay, let me go over the 3-act structure for a second. Stay with me for this bit. I swear it's all relevant. Because making movies is hard, humanity made something to help us tell stories that aren't shit. Behold, the 3-act structure. Designed to help characters, and the audience by extension, reach maximum catharsis. Act 1. Sets up characters and the status quo.
Just like we practiced.
Then the inciting incident happens, and the story gets going. Act 2. A sequence of consequential shenanigans to flesh stuff out that ends with a big drama. Act 3. After a post-drama contemplate, the story hits its climax when the protagonists go do the very necessary thing. Then everything winds down. So that's it. That's 4 years of college as an English major in 20 seconds.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
This structure is so useful that basically every mainstream movie follows some version of this, including the MCU. Especially the MCU. Add some superhero flavor, quippy dialogue, a giant CG budget, and bam! Marvel formula. And the Marvel formula, like most action movies, has all 3 acts end with an action sequence, each getting more spectacular than the last, building up to the climactic third act, which is basically one big action set piece. It's a mostly solid formula that's made some really great, and some not so great, movies. But what makes Civil War special is it adapts the 3-act structure to focus more on the characters. A lesser movie would have had the airport fight be the third act, because it's the big fun action sequence where everyone gets together for maximum epicness and YouTube views.
Holy shit!
Because again, if your movie's gonna have a title like Captain America Civil War, it's illegal not to have a big spectacle where everyone fights each other. And any sane person would go, okay, the most heroes doing the most amount of things makes for the most spectacular action sequence, which in turn makes for the most awesome movie climax, right? Right? And it probably still would have been a good movie. But here's the bottom line of why Civil War isn't just good, it's amazing. It understands that the spectacle of this fight isn't the point of the movie. The point of the movie is Cap and Tony having a serious falling out because of a fundamentally unresolvable conflict that represents who they are as characters.
Even if the whole world is telling you to move, look them in the eye and say no. You move.
And the best way to show that is by having the third act be an intimate, character-driven climax.
I know that road.
Tony finds out Bucky's the reason he never got closure with his parents. Intentionally or not, he doesn't care anymore.
It wasn't him, Tony. Hydra had control of his mind.
Move!
And Cap does whatever it takes to save his best friend.
I could do this all day.
They had their cake and ate it too. Because great movies aren't built on spectacle. Movies are all about character.
He's my friend. So was I.
Unless you're doing a weird artsy thing.
Funny, Tony.
Everything else, plot, action, quippy dialogue,
Who are you?
they all exist to drive the characters forward. Because the only reason the audience really cares about any of this is because of their investment in the character's emotional journey. And it's fine for a movie to just be fun and entertaining, but the best stories need an immersive emotional experience. And the reason a lot of movies suck is because somewhere along the way, some combination of producers, writers, directors, and editors decided to focus on the other stuff instead of the characters. In which case your movie's gonna come apart in the third act. Without character development and the emotional investment that comes with it, it's just a soulless action set piece with repetitive CG fights that are just noise. So yeah, Civil War.
And now, this is a man that knows how to marry his cousin.
In Act 2, you get the awesome comic book extravaganza that's the perfect balance of fun and serious,
I believe this is yours, Captain America.
and it's amazing and I love it.
You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude.
But an argument about the vague ideological intricacies of the Sokovia Accords was never going to be the backbone for an emotionally driven conflict. Because it has to be personal.
Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
So the third act makes it personal.
This isn't going to change what happened. I don't care. He killed my mom.
Tony trying to avenge his parents, and Cap trying to save Bucky. The climax is a culmination of character arcs established throughout an entire franchise of movies. We always knew Tony had unresolved trauma.
What do you remember about your dad, huh? He was cold, he was calculating, he never told me he loved me, he never even told me he liked me.
It's sorta his thing. And Cap's relationship with Bucky has been the driving force for a lot of these movies.
Bucky? Bucky? Bucky! You're my friend. Because I'm with you
To the end of the line, pal.
So once you drop in that Bucky killed Tony's parents, this is the only way that things could have played out. It's not forced or a misunderstanding fought over nothing.
I understand.
It's an unavoidable, character-driven conflict. And introducing this layer as a third act twist makes it that much more effective.
That's a twist. That's very twisty.
I mean, the movie puts a lot of time into setting up this entire fake climax, so we expect them to team up against a bunch of Soviet psycho super soldiers. In so doing, the filmmakers made sure that the audience is completely in sync with the character's emotional whiplash.
Did you know? Yes.
The audience is processing this in real time with Tony. There's no time to think about it and make a decision about who's definitely right or wrong, which makes everything that much more immersive and nuanced. And the fight itself is amazing, but the fact that it gets overshadowed by the story
Do you even remember them? I remember all of them.
is a testament to the writing. And at the end of it all, the movie sticks the landing because it embraces the fact that this is a tragedy. It's not a clean and cut thing where things go back to the way they were. The Avengers have broken up. Things have changed. Which is what a good story does. It seals off enough threads to be a definite, satisfying conclusion, but still leaves things open enough for the series to take the ending and evolve with it. Some things might stay the same, but other things change. Things might not have happened the way you wanted them to. But maybe next time, they will.
He made it for you.